Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Maya with Simply Boom. And I am disappointed in myself this morning. Let me tell you what. We got our first frost and we weren't supposed to get our first frost today. And I had so much out in the garden that I wanted to bring in all my house plants, or that I wanted to winter over. I had a bunch of produce in the garden that I still had to harvest. And I was watching the weather, because I like to wait till the last possible second, and I know that's risky, but I like to wait till the last possible second, just because my house isn't superb for keeping plants over, and I know they're better outside than inside. It says waiting, and the low last night was only supposed to be 39, and I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh, today's gonna be a good day. And I was gonna wear my hair down and actually put a little bit more of an effort into my appearance. And I was finally taking off this ratty nail polish. I got half my nails done, and I was starting on the other half. And my husband came in. It was still pitch dark out. He took our little puppy outside. We got a puppy, and he's like, "So, we got a frost last night." I'm like, "What?" So I just ran outside, as I am. You get me like this one more video, and the sun's not up. It's dark out, but I was like, we are gonna do a frosted garden tour before the sun comes up, because the second light hits frosted plants, they wilt. So we're gonna get this done. This is the first plant I want to show you, and I'm so proud of this hydrangea. It actually doesn't look like it got hit too hard, but you can definitely see frost on the outer leaves. Now, the last time this hydrangea has bloomed was for my wedding 7 years ago, and it hasn't bloomed since. I've been talking smack about it all growing season, saying how, you know what, I'm just gonna rip it out and put something else in that will actually bloom. And here we are, it bloomed. Now what I think it is I don't know the variety, but I don't know. I'm not the most in-depth on hydrangeas, but I think it blooms on old wood. And every year it dies back to the ground because it gets so cold here in the winter time. It doesn't kill the roots, but it kills all of the buds. But if it blooms on old wood, which I thought it did, and I thought that's why it never bloomed, because it froze out, then it went to bloom this year, right? But anyways, it makes me so happy to see, because like I said, I used it in my wedding. I think that was the year my husband planted it, and hasn't bloomed since, but I talked smack about it all summer, and it looks lovely. Moving on, we have some phlox, desperately need to be cut back. I have a Patriot Hosta back there, a Weigelia. Again, I'm not sure the variety on this Weigelia. It was actually supposed to be a solid leaf Weigelia, and then it died back and this mother plant the rootstock started coming through, and I actually love the variegation. It never blooms. I don't think it will ever bloom, but I think it's really pretty. We have our, oh my goodness, rooster. We have our massive limelight hydrangea standard. We have never once pruned this thing. It's massive. I know you're supposed to size control. We have some holes here because a friend came over and wanted a bunch of the blooms, so I gave her a bunch of the blooms so she could dry those. Otherwise it would look a little bit better than that. We have some very frosted containers here. I had a sunflower growing out of the ones that the birds planted, and I chopped the top off, but I left a few lower flowers so the birds could eat it. I had some container dahlias. You can see this one really got hit. I'm gonna try to dig the tubers, save for next year, and I really wanted to take these lemon cypress in. We'll see what happens after the frost warms up. I really hope I can bring those in. These were my favorite containers back here. These actually don't look as hit, probably because they were right up next to the house, but we have some dark potato vine. This thing will survive a light frost. It's incredible. I can't remember what it's called, but I love that thing. The coleus definitely got frosted, so I imagine that will be a wilted mess here when the sun comes up. My husband surprised me with a couple pumpkins, so I'll just rip out the front containers and put those pumpkins in with maybe some corn stalks and some hydrangea blooms. This, I even moved this geranium right here. Oh man, this got hit hard. The leaves are crisp. Oh my goodness, they're completely frozen. I was gonna take those geraniums in. I even put it on the deck and I just didn't. This container dahlia is probably my favorite. Very crisp. So I definitely want to save that one. I just love the way these purple fountain grasses look. I wish so bad they were perennial in our zone. They are not, but absolutely gorgeous. And look at this, you guys. Look how that looks frosted. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, over here we have some big holes. I had a random tomato plant just germinate, but my chickens love to trample that. I had several Asiatic lilies here, so I need to figure out some winter interest. A 9-bark, Amber Jubilee 9-bark, another Limelight Standard. This one we bought this year and it was much further along, so the blooms are like completely dried. Oh, go away. Go away. Go away. Nine, go away. We have some delphiniums that definitely got hit. I want to take out this spirea. It's just not doing well. And this is definitely more of a full shade spot now because we have a big clump of maples right there. So I'm thinking about putting some hostas and Virginia there. Here, I love this plant. It is a barberry. I'm not sure what variety, but I love the little red berries. Next to it is another one of these hydrangeas. Again, hasn't bloomed for 7 years, but we got some blooms. Few. There were a bunch more coming, but we at least got something. Another delphinium, another Limelight Standard. Here is where I had my proven winners, Luminary Ultraviolet Phlox, and there's one little bloom on it. This is a type of Liatris. I know I probably should cut it back, but I actually really like the way the spent blooms look. And then here's this one little surviving daisy. This is a Sweet Daisy Rebecca. I'm not sure if this will survive. We're technically zone 3. And on this tag, it says zone 3. But then I went to a different store, found the same plant, and it said zone 5. So I'm not sure. We have a couple clematis. That one's not blooming. I know it was mislabeled, so I'm not even sure what it is. We have a sweet little clematis bloom here. The Vegabond, a beautiful, beautiful purple. Look at that. So around the corner, we have Stormcloud Artemisia, I think that's how you say it. I am so excited to see it bloom next spring. A Stella Daylily, 2 Dianthus, which they're not in bloom right now, but I love that silvery, icy texture. I got some grass coming up that I need to pull out. And this side is kind of the same. Oh, something, oh sad, something crushed my salvia. Can't remember the variety on this. Oh gosh, how do people do it? Like, how does Laura from Garden Answer remember everything? I can't remember, and I just planted this year, a couple months ago. There's a really pretty blue salvia. Another Stormcloud, although this one definitely doesn't look as good as the other one. I have a Watkins, I believe it's Cat Watkins or just Watkins Catmint. I definitely need to move it. I didn't realize how big it would get, and I know this is even full size. This rose, I love this rose, you guys. Oh my, we definitely have some insect damage. Was not there last time. This is a Miracle on the Hudson rose. It gets these beautiful red. We had a bloom coming, couple blooms. Beautiful red rose. It has these dark olive glossy leaves. I absolutely love it. Here's a cute little clematis. I planted this one last year, and I think it said I was planting the president. The tag is gone. I'm not sure if that's an actual president, but I know the one I planted on the other side was mislabeled, so maybe this one was mislabeled as well. I have a Joe Pye weed. Oh, this thing was just about to bloom. I started this from seed. I'm not sure what variety this echinacea was. We have some dark side of the moon stilbes. And my rudbeckia looked amazing. Like the last 2 months, I got more rudbeckia to plant because I absolutely love it. A little bit of a foxglove, a juca, and we got some major damage on this rose. Oh my goodness. Vanilla strawberry hydrangea. Here's a little campfire rose, still looking really pretty. This one definitely doesn't even look like it got hit by a frost. Really protected in this corner. And here we have the purple smoke bush. Definitely got some frost on it. Yep. But that one's really pretty. It didn't bloom this year. We did kind of cut it back last year, or this year, this spring we cut it back, so it didn't get any of the blooms. But here's quickfire hydrangea. Love that mauve-y color it turns to. This viburnum I really want to rip out. I do not like the viburnum. It's supposed to be like a blue muffin or blueberry muffin viburnum. It gets white flowers that reek, smells so bad, like a dirty gym bag. It's all you can smell. And then it's supposed to get all these blueberries, like little clusters of blueberries, and we don't get any blueberries. Nothing. Here's a 9-bark. It normally gets really bad powdery mildew, which you can see got some. Or is that frost? I'm not sure. It had a little bit of powdery mildew, but not bad compared to normal. And then same thing over here, just kind of repeats itself. 9-bark, viburnum. We have this random, I don't know if it's a sumac. We keep cutting it back. It's growing from under the deck. We keep chopping it off and it just comes right back. I'm not sure how to get rid of it. Someone suggested like a stump killer, maybe looking into that. We have another quickfire hydrangea. There's like this little prairie rose. There's not much left. You can see the coloring. I love the hips, but I never see the hips turn red. So I don't know, but nice big hips. There's a type of cypress. I'm just blanking on all the names. I am so sorry, guys, but I love how that pops with another smoke bush. Around the corner, we have a third quickfire hydrangea. You can tell we like these. These get massive, but they do have a little quickfire. I think ours is about 7 feet tall. The big ones are known for growing 7 to 8 feet tall, but the little quickfire only get about 4 feet tall. Here's more of this bush growing up from under the deck, and we're on the complete other side of the deck. Okay, you guys, this is the only time I like this grass. You've heard me talk about it in every single garden tour. I do not like this grass until it gets its plumes. So I don't like it for 90% of the year, and as soon as it gets the plumes, I suddenly think it's gorgeous. I love it. Okay, here's our north side of our hosta bed. I don't know what happened here. I noticed this last week. Sorry, I just skipped over all those hostas. I really don't know any of the names. There's a Virginia, hosta, snake root, which normally gets these beautiful white blooms. I just missed it for the garden tour. But something trampled these. And then right across here is my garage. We have some autumn joy sedum. Tomato cages there because we put this flower bed in, and I wanted people to see it during the winter time so they wouldn't just walk straight through. We have some, I think it's powwow purple echinacea. I don't know, even know, like this bed is just kind of wild. This Russian sage is incredible. I actually would like to replace it with one of the proven winners varieties so it doesn't get quite so crazy and flop, but I really love it. We have there's just a lot that's not in bloom. Virginia, hardy geranium, peony, daylily. So it's like, I'm not sure how in depth you want me to go. And this side is pretty much the same, except the only difference is we do have a beautiful aster. My husband looked it up. There was a tag somewhere. He said, was it like a dome aster or rounded aster? I'm not sure. I'll try to look it up, but I love that. All right, coming over here. Here is my teardrop, I call it. Our driveway comes in and goes around. All these annual containers, I will be ripping them out and putting in, I'm thinking like maybe corn stalks, and then all of these spent blooms on the hydrangeas, I need to cut them back because the big one I showed you next to the house, I didn't cut off the spent blooms last year. We just get too much snow and we lost a big branch because the blooms got so heavy. So I'm thinking ripping those out, putting corn stalks in them, putting the blooms in as well. Maybe get a pumpkin. I think that'd look really pretty. So that just goes all the way around. Here, I want to show you this real fast before the sun hits it. You guys know this is my all-time favorite rose if you've been watching my videos this summer. It is the Princess Alexander of Kent. I got 5 David Austin roses, bare root this spring, and they've all done beautifully. But most of them I only got like 1 to 2 blooms off of. This thing has been blooming all season long. And look at look, there's just so many that were about to come. And when you order a David Austin bare root rose on the website, it says you might get 1 bloom. And this thing's been loaded with blooms all season long. I have some cat's pajama nepeta here. Oh, and some cardboard. Sorry, that's what I use. I do the no dig, no till, so I lay the cardboard down, mulch on top. Mostly everything else in this bed is not blooming, so I won't take that time because I have a bunch of stuff to do now that we have our first frost. But the lamium looks great. There's a silver mound there, a blue spruce, sedum, which it got these really pretty yellow blossoms. This was just like a sedum mix. I'm not sure what all the sedum types are in there. Another purple lamium here, some grass. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with this rock flower bed. Okay, I almost hate to show you this next part because I realize it's a mess and I wish it was different. But life happened and we just didn't get everything accomplished that we wanted to. But I planted the 6 hydrangea standards along there. I will be continuing the mulch. The grass and the weeds got crazy because we did have someone come out and mark our utility lines, but now those lines are completely faded because we're going to be putting in a white picket fence between this row and the standards. There'll be a fence there with the standards just peeking up over it. But I realize that's not going to happen this year. So I just want to do cardboard. Well, I'll cut down the grass first so the cardboard lays on it nicely, and then mulch. And then we'll just have them come out next year and remulch our lines. But I have 10 Bobo hydrangeas stretching the whole length of the driveway. Pretty much everything is asleep. I do have some pretty seed pods from these balloon flowers. These asters look gorgeous, and I think asters can tolerate a frost, so I'm hoping that those will continue to thrive. But pretty much everything is just kind of shutting down, so I'm not sure how in depth to go. I just said this, you guys, this is probably one of my favorite plants of all time. in the garden this year. A turtle head. I think that's just what it's called. It's just called a turtle head. I love it. We actually went to Home Depot yesterday and I bought 5 more. I'll do a haul on that later. Corn stalks, and I keep meaning to come back out and cut them a little bit shorter, but you can see I haven't. This peony, it looks really pretty. It definitely have some fall interest going on with that. You can just see some more bobos. Oh, I totally forgot. I still have to plant that standard now. I can now because I was waiting for these lisianthus to be done blooming. Because lisianthus, I've been growing these since January, and the standard needs to go plop right in the middle of them. Man, our rooster has been following us all over. Just keeps saying hi. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. These autumn joy sedums look really, really pretty. And then over here, oh, I do want to show you this. I think this is called a snowdrift. It has beautiful white blooms. Oh wow, do you see all the birds in it? Well, now there's just one, but it had a bunch of birds that flew away when I walked over. Gets these really pretty, just full, hundreds of white blossoms, and then they get these beautiful orange berries. Oh. Okay, so overall I'm happy with this triangle. I didn't like it for the first 2 months I planted it, but then it finally filled in, and honestly I can't remember like any of the names. I know this is a type of fuchsia. I really, really loved that. We have some coleus. I'm not sure what this is, if it's another type of coleus, I'm not sure. But finally it filled in, finally it looked pretty. Here is a morning glory. What is it called? Blue heaven, blue something. It gets these really pretty blue flowers. You can obviously tell it got hit last night in the frost. Let me see if I can find a good flower for you. They look pretty bad. I did get some clips of some pretty blue flowers last week, so I'll insert those in. Here is one of my favorite trees. This is a bad angle. There's a hole. This is probably one of my favorite trees on the property. It's a blue diamond blue spruce. And before we bought it, I was doing research on it. It said it was extremely slow growing, that it would take years and years and years before it hit 12 feet tall, or 10 feet. Zone 3, it maxes out at 25 feet tall by 20 feet wide. And it's been putting on, like, what is that? It's like 2 feet of growth in 1 year. Absolutely impressed with this tree. This flower bed looks really, really pretty right now because you can still see the color of some of the echinacea. We have some autumn joy sedum. It's surrounded by these really pretty asters. That rooster, he's been following me around all morning. Really pretty asters that go all the way around. These are purple dome asters as well. I did put corn stalks on either side. Please ignore that wire back there is going to be for our chicken run. And then we have 2 raised beds that will go in the cut flower garden. I am so excited to see that these lilacs survived. We had some sort of virus go around and hit all the mature lilacs in town. Everyone thought they were dead, and then they bloomed. Like, they all bloomed. Got some new buds pushing growth. All the lilacs bloomed in like September. It was crazy. So we'll see if all the old ones survived the winter or if their system is just totally off. But you can see we definitely got hit a little bit with some sort of virus thing, but overall these will survive. No. Okay. This is the last bed I want to show you. I don't think I have showed you this yet in any of the garden tours because it needs some help. However, I just happened to look over and see the sun rising and hitting this wisteria, and I think it's so gorgeous. We have some more ornamental grass there with some pretty plumes, and I just really love this spot. But obviously it's kind of overgrown and it needs some major help. So this is definitely a bed I want to tackle next spring. Oh, but we do have some more barberry back here, and I think it's just absolutely beautiful. Okay, you guys, that is it for our frosted October garden tour. Like I said, I was completely caught off guard, so I'm gonna go around and see what I can save. I'm a little disappointed. Was not supposed to get a frost last night, but this is gardening. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.